So we have a lot of students, teenagers, kids and teenagers, when parents ask, oh, how long is the course? When do they
graduate? When they finish?
When they finish, how long does it take? And we talk about the Cambridge exams, right? The importance of them doing the course starting at a certain age, or how seriously they take the English course, so that in the end they can take the Cambridge test, and that we don't do tests, like we don't do testing at school, like if they're going to pass or not, because it's private classes. So let's talk about the Cambridge test.
Yeah, we have tests for kids and teens, but like Daisy said, they're not going to flunk. The student isn't going to fail the course because they didn't get a good grade. We're just going to focus on that, the difficulties that the student had or seems to have. But regarding the Cambridge test, I think what parents need to know, and the adults as well, but let's focus on the parents for now. Parents, in order for your child to have graduated an English course, they have to have some kind of certificate. And it cannot be a certificate. It can be a certificate from Rafaela Paul. Rafaela states that your child can speak. But that certificate, I'm sorry, I think we're great. But that certificate is nothing anywhere else.
Because nobody knows us.
Nobody knows who we are. So we need to find a way we need to have an international certificate to have. And then people say, okay, but why? Because that's what is going to validate the English that you know. And you went through so much. You know, maybe you're a mom and you really want your child to, have a course, have the English for them to have opportunities in the future. So is it essential for you? You have to have an international certificate? No. But is it important for you to have? Very much so. I have it. Both of you have it. Of course, the three of us, my first two certificates, I had them. I took the test when I was a teenager, but the last one I was already 33. And I think you were about the same age. So in the end, we got them. So it doesn't have to be when you're a teenager, but it helps if you're a teenager because it's fresher. You have more time to study. Theoretically, you can focus on taking the test. When we're adults, we have other things we have to be focusing on, like work and kids, etc. So a good way to wrap up the English the course that you took is taking the test and having the certificate. Okay, now there are levels that you can take. So usually the least that you need to have is the B2. That is called an upper intermediate level. The B2 is the old FCE. If you have that, it's the least that you can have if you want to study abroad, if you want to maybe take a course, and that in your curriculum, it can help you because it can put you ahead of other people.
A master's degree.
A master's degree, you need it. Doctor's degree, exactly. And you can pass A, B, or C. So, okay, it's a hard test, but you can pass A, B, or C. Now, some people come to us and they say, no, but I want TOEFL. Or TOEFL or whatever. And like I took the TOEFL this year, and okay, the way I see it, it's just as expensive as the Cambridge test because I thought it was cheaper for a very long time. It's not. The dollar now is very expensive for us as well. It has an expiration date of 2 years, so it's expensive. And then 2 years later, you're not going to have the certificate anymore. You're going to have to take it again. And the way the format is, I didn't feel very comfortable taking the test because you do a listening with lots of other people and okay, everyone is quiet, but then you're doing your listening. If the person next to you is already ahead in the test, they're going to be doing the speaking. So you're trying to listen to the task here, and then they're doing their speaking, and then they're saying it very loud, and then it can interfere in your task. So I didn't feel comfortable doing that. You got to type, lots of people typing at the same time. I couldn't really, and I'm not bad at concentrating. So between the TOEFL and the Cambridge test, I advise people to take the Cambridge. It doesn't expire, at least in theory, it doesn't. It's a more complete test. It takes longer than the TOEFL, but it's more complete. However, you need to prepare yourself for the test. You need to take a prep course. You don't need to take a prep course, but it's a good idea if you do. There are two kinds of prep courses that you can take for the Cambridge test. So maybe you have the level, and all you need to do is to get acquainted to the test. So you do mock tests, you understand how the tasks are, and the different tests. You prepare for that by pretending you're taking the test, a mock test. You study the format of the test. The other way is if you don't have the level and you want to take the test, or maybe you've just gotten to the level, so you got to take a longer prep course using a book maybe, and then you're going to get into the level as you learn the format of the test. So it's a bit longer, but it's in depth and it's very full, very complete. I've seen people who haven't taken any prep courses and done the test, and they passed. But I don't advise.